But I do have a map, and I do have an idea of roleplay stuff, so session might end early today, might not. Just heads up.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, today is basically going to be the closest thing I could get to like a proper plot hook.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Alright.
In which case, I'm glad I worked out the kinks of recording in the last 2 sessions.
Yeah.
Let's try not to use prestidigitation to kill anything this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, are you both in?
Yeah, I'm in as the ink bleeds. And so
Okay,
is...
let me refresh my page real quick. It might kick you guys. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
There
now,
you are.
Now it's admitting that you're in.
Yeah. Okay, so, have you started the recording yet?
Yes, I have.
Or no? Okay. Then you can cut out the part up until, I properly say, welcome to session 3, I believe, of As the Ink Bleeds. When last we left our intrepid heroes, they had murdered a boggle using prestidigitation, and intimidated a darkling into fully passing out while pointing off into the distance. This time, we will pick up from the darkling passing out, so you are now standing in the middle of the forest with a couple of boggle corpses and a completely passed out darkling. What would you like to do?
Would you like to loot them? You've earned all the loot here.
I mean, I suppose we can look around for loot. I think there were a couple of knives that got thrown around, but we can check to see if there is anything interesting about them.
Okay.
Check the boggles or the darkling.
Yeah, I'll...
So, for some strange reason, it feels weird to loot the darkling when he's actually still alive. I'm not sure that really makes sense, though.
Yeah.
Wait.
So, I'll say I didn't... Okay. I did not quite prep anything for you to get off of them, so give me investigation rolls, and if you roll high, I'll give you something.
Okay.
I haven't actually pulled up my character sheet.
I'm getting mine pulled up here. Investigation.
Okay, that is a 10. And a 13.
Actually trained in that.
So you pick up the Darkling's daggers that it threw, and they're just regular daggers. So, like, if you want to keep them, they're just regular, basic daggers.
Okay.
My axes are better.
And while searching the Darkling, who is still passed out, you find a note that just says, it's a note attached to what looks like a now empty coin purse, saying, like, for your work on the recent mission.
Out of curiosity, what's it written in?
It is written in Sylvan.
Huh.
Which I might need to double check if one of you can actually read Sylvan. If not, then it's okay. You can read Sylvan. Yeah. So it's written in Sylvan. Other than that, there is nothing of note. The coin purse that was attached to the note is empty. You suspect that it was probably spent before you got here.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, the Darkling did point in a direction. You got anything better to do, or should we follow this?
Following seems viable. He didn't precisely seem to be in condition to block very well.
Yeah. I mean, you were kind of scary.
You were terrifying. So, would you like to follow where the Darkling pointed?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so as you make your way through the woods in the direction that the Darkling pointed, Wilver, I would like you to make a survival check at advantage.
19.
Okay. You successfully keep on track. You're headed right in the direction that the Darkling pointed, and as you get through like the thickest part of the forest, you see off in the distance what looks to be some kind of structure. At this point, you're still like in the forest and can't quite make it out, but you've been traveling for maybe 30-40 minutes, and suddenly you can see that there is something other than trees there. There is, if you look up past the canopy, you can see smoke rising into the air. You can see what looked to be like a stone wall of some kind, but you can't quite make out the shape of the structure itself. And as you get closer, it becomes apparent that you are approaching a large mansion off in the middle of the forest.
That's a lot of beings.
This always goes well.
Wait.
And as you approach, you can see that this building is a few stories tall. It is quite big. The walls are solid stone, or rather, like large stone bricks. The front steps are not steep, but very wide. Like, it is essentially a porch for each step. And the giant set of double doors tower over you.
Are there windows?
That's particularly hard to do.
There are windows on the top floor.
Ah.
Well, actually, there are a couple of windows around the sides of the building, but on the front, it is just at the top of the two spires.
Okay, so we currently cannot see into the room.
Yes, you cannot see what is happening inside.
Okay.
You can see smoke coming out of the chimney, and I would say, what are your passive perceptions?
On passive perception of 13.
I believe mine is 10.
Just double check. Okay. With a 13, I'll say that you can definitely hear movement coming from inside, though you can't quite determine what. Also, if you would like to put your if you would like me to put your character tokens on the map, then I can do that.
I mean, I feel like we're probably farther away than from the...
Yeah, we're not, like...
allows for, but...
Yeah, I don't think we're on map yet.
Okay. Then,
I mean, you can put them on the map.
Yeah, I'll just put them on the map, and we'll just say that this is not where you guys actually physically are.
Yeah, we're farther back than this.
No, so as you get closer, you can tell more and more that there is, like, this place is occupied. Somebody is here. And there are windows along the sides and back, but none accessible from the front.
And I'm guessing there's no, like, servant entrances. There's only the main door?
Nothing apparent to you, no. Unless you would want to make an investigation check to see if you can spot one.
I think I would. I think, like,
okay.
Considering I can hear noises inside, wanting to get a better idea.
I was going to point out that this might be one of those things where the stone proficiency thing comes up, but that's kind of irrelevant considering what you rolled second.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not even think of that.
No, so, with a 19 investigation, I will say that you do locate a potential servant entrance. It's a small contraption-looking thing just off to the side of the main door. Like, just way over here. That appears to function as a door to let servants in unseen when guests are around. Without having them enter through the giant double doors.
Think we should risk the front door or this door? Or go one apiece?
Let's not do that.
Just listing out all potential options here.
I'm thinking there were some windows on the sides. Perhaps we should try to get a look at what we're getting into. It may just be some side rooms, but might be worth a shot.
Smart.
Okay, so you're checking windows?
Yep.
Okay. Which side are you going to? This will affect my description.
Did we approach like at an angle, or I was just thinking whichever one seemed closest, probably.
Yeah, I'd say you'd probably approach from like the bottom left area.
Okay, so I suppose on the left side then.
Okay. So as you check the windows, I would like you both to make stealth checks with advantage.
Hold on. How does my armor affect this?
In retrospect, perhaps we should have had just me.
I will say that due to noise and everything, I will not have your scale mail's disadvantage count, since this will be entirely site-based.
Okay. In which case, I got a 24.
24? Okay.
I got a 17.
You are not
every
seen.
time I run a rogue, I always end up doing remarkably mediocre for a rogue at stealth.
The guy in scale mail did better than you.
Yeah, no, that's kind of impressive. So you were not seen as you round the building, and through the windows you see a massive dining hall. But it is not being used for dining at this moment. Boggles walk around, shuffling objects and items to and fro. And Darklings like stand around the tables looking at maps that have been marked with certain icons and things. Make me a perception check.
All right.
17.
Okay. Both of you have enough knowledge of how thieving and stealing works to know that this would not be an uncommon sight while preparing for a heist.
Alrighty then.
People standing around tables, looking at maps, double checking, like where they're supposed to go, and there are decently sized piles of gold being used to pin down the maps, which is rather peculiar. And as you come past this point on the building, the view suddenly is shifted as you have passed a wall, and you can now see into what looks like a small, not quite servants' quarters, but what looks like a repurposed kitchen. What once was a wood-burning stove for cooking things is now burning coal, as Boggles shovel it in to heat the building.
You said this building was made of stone. Well, there goes my
Yes.
original idea.
What, arson?
Yes. Yes.
To So yes, you see two very different rooms. One attended by what seem to be servants, stoking a flame inside of a very old oven, and the other a massive dining hall, repurposed for what looks like planning a heist.
Oh boy. Should we prepare the town for an evacuation?
Well, I don't know. If they're planning a heist,
They would.
then that seemingly indicates that they're not really after the townsfolk.
Right. They're also not after the wealth, considering all. They're also not after money, considering all that gold on the tables. So, knowledge or items?
Well, if I don't suppose we can recognize any of the maps from our view. That would be way too convenient.
Yeah, you're a bit far away to be able to recognize any of the maps. You might be able to get a better look at them if you go around the back of the building. But from where you're, from your available viewpoints, nothing would be close enough.
We also know that it's unlikely to be items, considering their necromancy stuff was stolen. Their necromancy books and tomes were stolen when the town fell asleep. So the town might not be the target after all.
Yes. Them hitting the town multiple times makes me think it's not the target as well. Either that or they're just really bad, but,
Again, there's a lot of gold here. There's a lot of gold here, so I don't think it's a skill issue.
Good point.
They've been doing this for a while. Have to be. I have a risky idea. I think we might be able to clear out the kitchen area. And maybe be able to listen in on some of their plans.
Maybe until they notice something's wrong.
I would like to mention, number one, in order to do that, you would have to get in through the window. You would have to take out both boggles, immediately, before they can yell. And you would be giving up the removal of advantage on Wilver's stealth checks.
Yes. Also, probably just simpler to go in through sneak in through the servant access, see what we can hear from there.
Right.
Just to double check that we're all on the same page, our primary goal at this point is to find the necromancy book and return it, correct? Or at least that was our initial primary goal.
Our initial goal was to figure out, I thought, what was going on.
It was more so, like, it wasn't that, like, they desperately needed the books or anything. It was more so of the subject matter of those books is concerning, and the townspeople would like information as to what they are being used for.
Okay. So
killing the thieves is optional.
And when dealing with necromancers, or potential necromancers, not necessarily even use.
Right. So, do you think I should take my armor off?
Perhaps.
Okay, let's see here. In which case, how is AC determined when it's 10 plus dex, right, for AC?
Yes, 10 plus your dex modifier.
Okay, so temp AC is now 13. I have taken off my armor.
Okay, what was your original AC?
17.
17. Okay. So you no longer have disadvantage on your stealth checks.
Right.
And yeah. So
all right. So I suppose we're going in through the servant's entrance, trying to stay stealthy.
Yes.
All right.
I can finally have you guys actually where you're supposed to be on the map.
All right.
You know what? Just for fun, I'm going to use my detect portal ability really quick.
Interesting. Okay, can you put up how that works in the Roll20 chat?
Yeah, hold on. Can I click? You just wait. That's a planar warrior.
Hold on. I think I can.
Here it is. Let's see that one there. There we go.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm not seeing it in the chat. I wonder if that's. Oh, there we go. Of course. It naturally showed up as soon as I hit refresh.
Yeah, that checks out.
So, you immediately get a ping. There is a planar portal within this building, and it is. If you are facing the wall where you are now, where the servant's entrance is, it is dead ahead.
Oh, fuck.
Wait a second. There was a mirror.
Yes, there was. That I forgot to describe, but yes, there was a very large metallic mirror in the corner of the building.
I can also sense the distance, and I have the keen mind.
You can tell that it lines up with where the mirror was. I forgot you had this ability and had thought of making this a portal. So,
well,
that incredibly situational, but incredibly useful when it is in the right situation.
Yeah. No, if you think of it, it's really cool.
Yeah, I was just like...
And it just so happened, like, as soon as you said detect portal, I'm like, wait, shit, I had thought of that.
Yeah, no, that was definitely what the hell? When am I gonna use this?
Yeah.
And
the thing is that with the kind of character that you've made, I kind of have to give you Fae to fight, and Fae use portals a lot.
Yes.
So yes, with your deductive reasoning, you can figure out that the giant mirror that you saw in the corner is in fact a portal.
I think we will need more men for this mission. We should retreat to the town and let them know what we have found.
I might note that there were already a bit many for us to fight on our own in first.
I'm sorry, what was that? I didn't quite catch that.
I was just saying that considering the number of people we already saw in there, in fact, we were kind of already outnumbered. The fact that there's apparently an open portal doesn't actually change that.
It's upgraded the situation from risky, but we can use stealth, to oh fuck.
Well, we can still... Well, okay. We can still use stealth to scout around and determine more of what the situation is.
Okay.
So, we might want to...
okay, before you continue...
of being found.
Before you continue, I would like to have Hubert make a perception check for me. Just one more. Okay, that's really high. You can tell that the servant's door that you are at has not been used in a while.
I was actually thinking of checking it for traps and creaky hinges.
That is another good point. You can tell that the latch and hinges that are visible seem not quite fully rusted over, but definitely long in the tooth.
So, not getting through this thing without making noise.
I would say you have... If you do nothing to it, then yes. But there are things that can be done about creaky hinges.
This is true.
Closest...
I actually have oil. I do. You know, now that I think about it, I'd assumed that was supposed to be lamp oil. But...
I mean, lamp oil is still oil.
I don't suppose we can just hear stuff from the door.
It is pretty echoey. It's kind of hard to make out any sounds coming from within as to like what is specifically being said.
Okay, so to make a check for to make a check for manipulating for like oiling up the hinges and latch and whatever. What would that be? Like, I'm thinking
putting oil on it would not be a check.
Okay.
But once you do, you would have advantage on the sleight of hand check to open it silently.
Okay, that makes sense. I don't suppose there's a convenient small opening that, say, an owl could fit through.
Not really, no.
Well.
Like, not
the
even...
windows are all shut tight. There's no gaps in the... there's no gaps in the stonework or anything like that. Good thought, though. And I will... in the future, I will think ahead and think of things for your familiar to do. Which, by the way, we should put Keith on the...
I was just going with he's currently staying in familiar.
Well, no, we need a Keith token on the board at all times.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Because I love the token.
I forgot that was the token, and I'm zooming in just to get a better view of Keith.
Yeah.
We cannot let Keith die.
Okay. So,
Time
to work on the door.
Okay. So yeah, you pour this oil over the latch and the hinge. And I would like you to make a sleight of hand check with advantage.
All right.
Nice.
Sleight of hand happens to be the thing I put the expertise, proficiency in, or one of the things.
Yeah. So sleight of hand, you very gently pull the servant hatch open, and it does not make a sound. I would like both of you to roll new stealth checks.
Do we not get an advantage on this one?
No, but both of you passed anyway, so it's fine.
Okay.
So I'll say that both of you are just in this corner, and Keith can be here. You've made it into the building, and it, what?
Just laughing at Keith.
Yeah. No, so you have made it into the building, and you can start to hear actual words being said this time. There is an elderly man at the head of one of the tables who is barking orders at the darklings around, and doesn't seem to be really regarding the boggles at all. And like he's essentially like he is treating the darklings like servants and the boggles like they don't exist. And the boggles are moving around, still carrying random object back and forth from the tables back to the stairs and up. The Darklings are standing around the tables, nodding along with their orders. The old man is basically like, okay, so, like, when we get to this point, like, when we get into the stronghold, you need to split off and go into the kitchens and start a fire. You, and he points to another one, you're with me, and you follow me to the end. If I die before you die, say nothing. Give them nothing. And he continues down the line telling everybody where they need to be and what they need to do. And it becomes clear as he's talking that this is not quite a normal heist. The place that, as he gives more and more orders, it becomes clear that they're planning to break into a proper military stronghold, but not one that you are familiar with.
Out of insane, morbid curiosity, do I recognize him? He's the old man. Or more specifically, his cloak.
Make a history check. Okay. It is okay. So number one, I can tell you without the check, it is not the cloak.
Okay.
His cloak is a solid dark blue, but an important thing is that as he turns to give orders to one of the Darklings, you catch a glimpse of a sigil on the back. It is your family's crest.
Fuck. Well then.
But this is not what you would picture as a dwarven man. He is about normal human size. He has a rather gruff-looking face and a stern expression and a very long beard. But he has elven ears.
I don't suppose the cloak is kind of short on him or something.
Nope. It is the size for him.
I suppose it could have been altered, but that's very strange. Actually, okay, I'm curious. Mind if I make a history check?
Go for it. Definitely not. You are pretty sure that this is you're pretty sure that this is a man called Calabaza.
No. He is convinced that this man is a moose.
Yeah. No, you are absolutely certain that this is Calabaza, the moose gourd wizard. You really did not read your history textbooks at all.
Never let the moose jokes die.
Yeah.
My sister was almost gored by a moose. No, really, Ellie. No. Because
I don't.
Monty Python references. Anyway,
Moving on.
Was that like a real? Was that a real story or was that role play?
That was a reference to a bit of stuff in the opening credits for Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Okay. It's been a while since I've seen that movie. I know that the opening credits credit like a pack of alpacas or llamas.
Yes, the credits are finished by llamas.
Yeah. Anyway, no, so neither of you recognize who this is right off the bat, but Wilver does get a look and sees that his family crest is emblazoned on this very well-fitting cloak that this man is wearing.
It occurs to me that we might be looking at this backwards. We're assuming that the portal is where they came from. What if it's where they're going?
That would make travel easier.
It would, and although I don't know. Can you think of any fortresses in this area?
No, not nearby.
I feel like that would be a check, maybe.
Yeah, I would say another history check, actually.
We are really good at
both of you do
amount of mileage out of this.
Yeah, both of you do another history check. Okay.
Apparently
Yeah,
I'm better at
both of
geography.
you know that the nearest fortress is miles and miles away in Alliance territory. Like the fortress that they're talking about cannot be anything within normal traveling distance of where you are right now.
Right there.
There is only one militarily active nation in the world right now, and they are not around here really.
Can I roll Arcana on the portal?
I'd say from this distance, yes, but at disadvantage.
Okay, you see, like, if I can get any information. Oh.
No. You can tell that it is big and shiny and a mirror.
Yeah, that checks out.
I will give you that it is, despite you having identified it as a portal, visually it just appears to be a regular mirror. Very large, very fancy, but it is a mirror.
Just from out of context knowledge of various tropes, that is not remotely surprising.
That is fair. But I would say with both of your relative like, so, but let's say layman's understanding of this type of magic, that can also indicate that the portal just isn't currently fully active. It's just at rest.
Right, that is what I was thinking.
It's the doorway, but the door is closed.
Yes. Or, yeah, it's like the door is closed but not locked. But you have yet to identify where the portal leads to. Just that it leads to another plane.
That actually gives me an idea. Another incredibly stupid, maybe working idea. Barricade.
What would you like to do?
Okay. I'm thinking we barricade the door. And then we shoot the portal. And run like hell.
Hubert, what do you think of this idea?
Can I make an okay, question. To what extent what do we know about portals? And given what we know about portals, do we actually, in character, have reason to think this will work? This could work in the first place.
Physically breaking a portal like that, no, it would not work.
I think that sums up my
Okay.
opinions of this plan.
That's fair. That's fair.
I wasn't gonna shoot it down if you agreed, but yeah, no, it would do nothing. Like the shot would bounce off.
Okay.
Okay, here's a thought. We know that you were looking for information about necromancy.
Yes.
Is there anything that might be in a book about necromancy that might have any indication of where they might be going? Nothing's really coming to me?
Give me... I mean... I don't want to just keep having you make history checks, but...
That seems like an Arcana one to me.
Yeah, Arcana or...
or possibly religion.
You know, yeah, make it a religion check.
Okay.
Nat 20. Okay.
20.
Okay.
The dice gods.
You know that there are a couple of fringe, out of very defunct now cults that have popped up around a supposedly Fey figure who resides in the Feywild and whose domain deals in necromancy.
Huh.
A sort of dark Fey.
Well then. sounds like they're planning on raiding a necromancy stronghold. Is that a good or a bad thing? On one hand, it's raiding. On the other hand, it's robbing necromancers.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, the question we should be asking is this likely? If this blows up in their face, how much collateral damage is it going to do?
If it
Or
fails
possibly even
miserably,
what's the worst case scenario for if they succeed?
if they fail miserably, the Dark Fae has a portal to here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
But if they
We
succeed,
might get
they'll have artifacts of necromancy
artifacts.
here.
That seems like the most reasonable assumption. Powerful necromantic artifact. This sounds like something that we might want to stop.
Do either of us know how to turn a portal off?
With the Arcana checks you guys have been rolling, absolutely not.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there goes my next question of, do we know if we can move the portal location?
You could certainly try.
Can we think of anywhere that we could move? I assume you mean like the mirror.
Yes.
Yeah, you could
Can we think of
technically
anywhere that
move
we-
the mirror.
Can
However,
we think of anywhere we could move the mirror to that would actually be useful?
A hole in the ground and then bury it?
I suppose.
Here's what I was thinking. Do we know? Have they said anything to give us a hint of when this raid is going to happen?
They seem to be currently in the stage of doing like play-by-play, going over specific plans, rather than like last minute. Okay, we're gonna go.
So we might have time to call in reinforcements, but it's a bit questionable.
You guys,
Especially since we'd have to actually find reinforcements.
the Cyclopeans.
Yes, but they didn't exactly strike me as necessarily the most military or combat-minded.
Yeah, they are not warrior types.
We wouldn't need
At
them
best,
to.
you would.
We wouldn't need them
At
to
best,
be
you would get
warriors.
I suppose we could find they could maybe know how to shut down a portal better than we would.
And worst case scenario,
But
they can wield a shovel. Get this portal buried with them on the other side.
we should probably be keeping in mind that that we kind of left an unconscious darkling that is presumably part of their group further back in the forest. And they might be hearing back from him anytime.
I think we should finish the Darkling off.
It might be too late.
You guys are like a ways away from where you left the Darkling.
Ah, okay.
On the other hand, depending on how this group functions, he might decide that it was too dangerous to go back. In which case, they'd only be noticing that he isn't showing up anymore.
Right, and given that he doesn't seem to notice the boggles, I think it's possible this could go unnoticed.
As you say that, the old guy kind of looks up like, wait, where the hell's Bartholomew? Where's Barty? Has anybody seen him? And he looks to the other Darklings.
Oh my. Okay. Apparently, we just ran out of time. Wait. Oh no. Oh my gosh. I just had a really terrible idea.
What?
I just happen to have on my spell list Disguise Self.
Oh no.
Okay.
Go back to the main entrance if you're going to do what I think you're going to do.
This is a terrible idea.
I think it's worth noting, one of my first ideas was to have me run in panic, talking about how you killed a boggle with prestidigitation.
Would you like to go forward with the Disguise Self plan?
This is a terrible idea. Let's do it.
That's what I love to hear. Okay.
I'll be here. If things go south,
Yeah.
I've got your back.
Yeah. Wilver waits in the corner, along with Keith.
Such a bad
As
idea.
Hubert circles around to the front door and casts Disguise Self, converting his appearance into that of Bartholomew the Darkling.
All right.
What do you do?
You know what? I'm going to go with Kinja's original plan, only as Bartholomew the Darkling.
Oh boy.
When I say that was exactly what I wanted to hear, you have no idea.
This
I really
Absolutely.
love being an illusionist.
This is going to be either incredibly great or the worst idea ever, and it comes down to one die roll.
Okay.
Also, Hubert, for this insanity of this idea by itself, regardless of if it works, I'm giving you an inspiration.
I keep getting these.
Oh boy, this is going to be so good.
Oh my god.
Okay. So,
Okay.
you have disguised yourself, and you are running in a fervor. What do you say?
Adventurers, they killed some of the boggles with his Naja just like that. They're coming this way.
The old man at the table says, "What? What happened?" And he gets up from his chair and starts walking over.
I don't know. I don't know.
And I'm gonna.
There was this dwarf and the gnome, and the gnome was some sort of crazy easy age, and they just shriveled one of the boggles, like with just a touch. It was crazy.
He goes.
I'm doing this in a very panicked voice. I mean, this is about all I know about Barty is that he panics.
Yeah, that is absolutely fair. This wizard man, like his eyes widen, and he goes, "Well, shit. Did you get a good look at them? What did they look like?"
I proceed to describe my Hubert, myself, and what's your character's name again?
Wilver.
Wilver, right? In extremely over the top terms.
And Keith, most of all, the most fearsome warrior.
Yes.
And he kind of, the wizard kind of looks, stares off into the middle distance for a moment, and goes, "We have to prepare to meet them." And then he turns to all of the other Darklings and say, Take up defensive positions. Do not strike until I say." And one by one.
Oh my god! Am I about to ambush myself?
Well, you following orders. He also orders you to move into this section here.
All right.
And the Boggles have still not been told where to go, so they're still just moving objects back and forth.
Oh boy, this
is the most ridiculous.
I kind of, to add even more chaos to this, like, now that I've got a better look at him, can I reroll to see if I recognize him?
Hold on. look at. I will say. Make an insight check.
Finally, a check I'm good at.
Yeah. Okay. While he is not immediately familiar to you, in terms of, like, you don't recognize his face offhand, but he does look like, there is some resemblance to other people in your family.
Oh boy.
You get the sense that the family crest on his cloak is not just for show.
I believe I said in my backstory that did I make these axes myself or just train on them? I think I just said that I trained with them. Can I say that my hand axes would have our family crest on them?
Sure.
Oh boy. I have an incredibly stupid idea.
I feel like we have said that, like, you two have said that more than I have ever heard it in D&D before. And that's kind of impressive, because that gets said a lot in D&D.
We do seem to be doing this very often during this session.
Yeah.
But, by the way, now that I'm inside, can I, like, surreptitiously look around to see if, well, there's anything particular that stands out to me?
Give me an investigation check. Or actually, perception. Since you're not you can't go around physically moving things. It would just be looks. Okay, 10. I'll say, getting a closer look at the maps, you can tell they are definitely not of anywhere that you know of on this plane. All of the maps are written in Sylvan. The names are, the names and the shapes of locations are places that do not fit with your understanding of the world. So either these are very incorrect maps, or they are maps to somewhere altogether different.
Alrighty then.
I have 2 questions about Keith.
Okay.
Can he carry a hand axe? And what is his movement speed?
This is a terrible idea. I love it. Well, okay. Let me pull up his character sheet.
Oh boy.
Let's see. He has a strength of 3 for whatever that's worth.
I believe the hand axe says 2, so I'm going to assume that he can carry this. And so I think that's describing.
I mean, it's probably not any...
As long as he is not attacking with it, yes, he can.
Okay.
Yeah, that's... Okay, what terrible idea are you going with this time?
Have Keith carry the axe and drop it, like, here-ish.
I'm assuming that you have given Keith word to follow Wilbur's orders.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I can also... I believe I should be able to see through his eyes, but I don't know if I can actually speak. I think that's not a thing, or at least not a thing for the bog standard version.
Yeah. Okay. So Keith will do what Wilver asks.
Out of curiosity, what are we like deliberately intending for him to notice the fact that this axe is being carried by an owl?
Yes. Because he knows the adventuring party has an owl in it.
Okay. Better question. Do you want this owl to show up from your hiding spot?
Oh boy. You know what, on second thought, maybe having him not notice the owl would be a good idea.
I'm not sure how this is going to work.
Let's have him fly, like... How far can he fly in a turn?
Well, it'd be... Okay.
Because I'm trying to see...
Can familiars take the dash action?
Yes.
Then,
I believe so.
It is a bonus action to drop the weapon. So it would be... he can dash, drop the weapon, and however much remaining movement speed he can still move. So basically double his fly speed. What was that?
His base movement speed is 60.
So 120 feet in a turn.
Okay, so 12 tiles worth of movement. Drop the axe,
no.
retreat.
No, it's more than 12. Because
No,
each tile is 5 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
12 tiles. He gets
okay.
He gets to here.
12.
He drops the axe.
12 one way.
Yeah.
Yes. And then he retreats.
Yeah. I would... Okay. I will let you do that. I will say Keith will need to roll a stealth check against the wizard's perception. Sound good?
Oh boy. If this gets your owl killed, I'm really, really sorry.
It just dissipates. It's not a real owl.
Yeah, I can call him back. I may borrow your money and pay to purchase the ingredients for the spell, though.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, so Keith flies in without making a sound and as fast as lightning. Drops the hand axe with Wilver's family crest right on the ground, right here. And then immediately doubles back and is out the door before anyone can notice.
Right there.
Yep. And I assume you want it to be like a loud clatter?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, it makes a very loud clang on the ground. And
so, do I need to have Keith do a stealth check, or?
Yeah, make a stealth check for whether or not anybody notices Keith. Okay. Let me roll it. Okay, yeah, no. Nobody notices. Everybody is way too focused on the door. So Keith is in and out without anybody seeing. I'll also assume that Keith was flying up close to the ceiling, which is quite high on this first floor.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense then.
So Keith was up in the rafters. And the wizard turns and looks at this hand axe, walks over and picks it up, and kind of studies it for a moment with a very odd look on his face. He's not really sure what he's looking at. And then he has a sudden realization and drops the axe and goes, "Everyone, put down your guard. I know you're here."
I walk out.
So it is true. It is one of my kin.
Hello there. I feel I should recognize you, but I'm afraid to say...
Oh, you have nothing to be ashamed of for not recognizing me. It's been a very long time since I spoke to any of our kind.
What are you doing here?
Here? Planning to restore our family's honor, destroy the ones who wronged us. Why are you here?
Searching for someone who wronged me. This is just a side quest.
I wouldn't be so sure. When it comes to our family, and I have a very long history with our family, almost every problem that we have ever had somehow connects back to... Give me just a second. I need to come up with a name.
I should probably also come up with a name for our... I should probably also come up with a family name.
Yeah, so let's both do that.
Yeah, oh boy. This worked really well before, so fantasy name generator, don't let me down.
May I take this time to say that there is something very amusing about impersonating someone named Bardy, as opposed to it being a Bardy who's impersonating someone.
Yeah. It did not even cross my mind until you said that, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing.
Let's go with... Considering there's apparently tragedy in our family, let's go with Bittermane.
Bittermane. Ooh, that's good.
Get
Wilver Bittermane. That's
accidentally hit the back button. Give me a minute. Yeah, fantasy name generator. It can work.
Yeah. Give me just a second. Getting sufficiently deific sounding Fey names while still having them sound dark is really hard. So give me just a second. Fantasy name generator, let's go.
Of course.
Oh my god.
You found the perfect one instantly?
No, I found... They're giving me names like Cookie Drift Shine and shit like that, so I'm not doing Fey names.
Wrong Fey.
Yeah, I need like Irish Fey, you know, where they're genuinely like
Fey.
really creepy.
Hold on. I'm seeing if there's an Irish Fey name generator. Oh, Celtic mythology character. Let's keep it as random. I'm seeing I'm seeing what it means as well. So I'm looking for... Okay, these are names for people, so they're going to be more festive and not evil.
Okay, I just found a really funny one that I will probably use at some point. Mop Top Meadowcliff.
I like it.
That's really funny.
Why not just go with Oberon?
Oberon?
Yeah, it's...
That's fair.
It is overdone.
I mean,
give me just a bit to see if I can find one better, but I might do that for now at least.
I was thinking maybe we could go with something, well, not precisely like this, but something along the lines of Raven King or something like that.
Maybe.
Ooh, let's look up Edgar Allan Poe character names.
That's a good one.
I wonder.
Monk.
That's like. Wait, did you say Malk?
Monck.
Oh. Yeah, that's not what. Okay, that's not what I was thinking.
Let's see here. Male names. Baldassar.
That's it's Babylonian, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh, Path of Exile name generator. Ooh, I'm posting this name.
Where are you posting it?
Roll20 chat.
Ah.
Malleus. Huh.
I could go with that.
Path of Exile character name generator.
All right then. Going back to what he said, I wouldn't be so sure. In my experience, just about every problem that our family has ever had, in some way, ties back to Malleus.
There's a wizard in a starry cloak who robbed me. Think he could work for this Malleus?
I don't know about working for, but let me do some research. But for now, it is wonderful to meet you.
It is always an honor to meet another Bittermane.
Likewise. He kind of sets himself aback for a moment. Do you really not know at all who I am?
Sadly, no clue. I saw the crest, which is why I took the gamble with the axe.
And he kind of nods to himself. Yes, that was quite clever. Had you not done that, I would have had my men here skewer you. Where's your friend? The one who's supposedly with you. And he kind of looks around the room, expecting Hubert to come out of hiding.
I point at Barty dramatically.
Hey, don't worry, Barty isn't. Barty's still around somewhere.
Did you scare that coward into fainting?
Oh, is that a usual thing? I'll have to remember not to mention that.
It is. Yes, that is a common thing, and it is why he was not strictly integral to the plan. So,
to be fair,
having him as a lookout would be nice.
To be fair, turning a bogger into a raisin. A boggle into a raisin would frighten anyone.
And he kind of looks back at Hubert. That was true?
Surprisingly, yes. Yes. Honestly, I was a bit taken aback myself.
And he looks at you and he goes, we may make a powerful spellcaster out of you yet. Like, not at all perturbed by the loss of the boggle. And he just goes, if you're wondering, these boggles are not true boggles. They're constructs made of tar.
That would explain a few things.
Oh boy.
And I suppose that means you are the ones who undid that little sleep spell put on the town. I suppose some explanations are in order for that.
Yes. Definitely.
It would be appreciated.
Yes. The things we have taken from the town are not... They're not for our own use, as you could probably tell. The things that we have gathered are specifically for the mission that we are on. And we will return all that is still usable as soon as it is done.
The mission involving that portal in the corner, correct?
And he goes, okay. So you were able to identify the portal from a distance.
Honestly,
And he kind of...
a stroke of luck.
And he goes, yeah, that fits with our family. And he kind of like gives you kind of a like a half smile and just goes, well, yes, our mark is through the portal. And as you could probably tell, it was the plan does not boil down to a mere heist. Though that is what we are good at. Regardless of what your parents or your immediate family may say, our family, Bittermanes, are thieves through and through.
Sad to say, I've taken up that tradition as well.
You come by it legitimately.
What?
And it is nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, fair enough. Rob the right people. You can do a lot of good.
Precisely. And, well, until this interruption, we were making plans to rob the worst of all. Do you know who Malleus is?
No.
Malleus is a being... How do I put this? Malleus is a being beyond our normal understanding. He is not a god, but more than mortal. I have it on good authority that he can be killed.
Good. You said earlier that he cursed our family.
Not cursed, but he has it out for me and all of my offspring.
What did you do to make him that mad?
Stole from him.
That would do
And
it.
he kind of gives you a smile. I stole from him. It was nothing. It was nothing huge. Just, a couple of legendary magical items. Anyway,
I turn to him and say, I'm hunting down a man who stole 50 gold from me.
and he goes, yes, pettiness runs in the family too. But what Malleus stole from me was far greater than anything that I stole from him. And I have lived every day waiting to give it back.
Who did he steal from you?
My wife.
How can we help?
She died in my arms because of him.
Hubert,
Mm-hmm.
we're helping him.
And he kind of just looks between the two of you, like way off and super far away. And is just like, okay. Like, I'll accept all the help I could get. As it was, the plan we were currently hatching was the most dangerous one we've devised yet, and it still would not lead to Malleus' death. This was a preparatory strike. Are you sure you're up for this?
Yes.
Okay. Then we will scrap all of the current plans. And he kind of turns and waves his hand over the tables, and just like that, all of the markings on the maps dissipate, as evidently all of the plans have changed. And he goes over to one of the maps in particular, the only one that's the only one that appears to be showing the current world that you are on. This is a world map of Melani. And he points to a couple of different areas within, on the main continent. And he goes, if you wish to be of help in this fight, there are things in these places that we need.
Okay.
I don't suppose you could be a bit more specific.
He turns to you kind of slyly, like, how do I put this? So out of character, I have not decided exactly what. I did not expect it to go quite in this direction, but we're...
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
How did you expect this to go?
I don't know. Honestly, I just legitimately I planned out the him being from your family and talking about that, and I set up the map, and that's it.
Okay.
That's all I had time to do. I had an hour of prep.
Ooh.
And the map took longer than I expected it to.
Okay.
No, so he points at these varying places on the map and is basically like, there are powerful magical items that will be needed in order to weaken Malleus enough to kill him. They serve very little other purpose, and we were planning to retrieve them after having weakened his main defenses. But if you would be willing to mount investigations, assaults, if they're being guarded, or anything to try to get them back, that would be a very big help.
Right. I'm guessing most of these, if not all of them, are not just things you can buy.
And he kind of looks at you and he gestures to the table. If there were things you could buy, I would have already bought them.
Right. Not buy with gold, buy with favors.
Fair enough.
That I do not know. I was only able to scry into their physical locations, not the actual scenario of how they're being kept.
Right.
And he kind of mutters to himself for a moment. Just a starry cloak. I might be able to help you with your wizard problem, but give me time to look into it. And do send my regards to the townsfolk.
Will do. Should probably tell them there's no need to evacuate.
Yes, that would be very nice. Part of the reason for the sleep spell was to keep them from panicking, but apparently the nincompoop Barty took it upon himself to make it last longer than it ever should have. It was only supposed to last a few hours, long enough to steal the books and be out of there.
Yeah, I think he might have messed up. He might have messed up the unit of time or something, or he had a bright idea. I don't know. Oh, my acquaintance with him was rather brief.
And he kind of just he does a little face palm, and is just like, God damn that Darkling! I knew I shouldn't have trusted him with something so important.
Oh yeah, do you think he's gonna return here or just run away?
Oh, he'll come back.
I'm now imagining him bursting through the door and doing almost exactly what I did.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, no, that's precisely what happens. The real Barty bursts through the doors and is like, Master, there's a problem. There's two and then he passes out again.
tosses knives to him.
No, he's down. He's unconscious.
Oh!
He passed out again.
Funny. That's hysterical.
I turn to Hubert and say, "Great Barty impression, by the way."
Thank you. No, honestly, that was it turned out to be better than I had any expectation of it being.
The wizard turns to you and just goes, "Yes, you were quite convincing."
I was just going with panic for the sake of being distracting. I wasn't. I suppose I should have just realized that was his default state.
There was a reason that I sent him on a mission with no direct contact with anybody.
I like
Barty. And he kind of turns away, like looking disappointed, but then turns back to you and goes, "He does make for a good lookout, though."
Yes, I can see that.
I just say, we got here undetected.
And he just kind of goes, "He wasn't on duty."
Oh boy. I need to get some water.
Quick break.
Oh boy. You know how...
So you now... something that I did not specify before because I forgot, because I'm an idiot. You do now know the wizard's name. He informs you that his name is Calibrand.
Calibrand. Okay, let me throw that under bonds.
Here, I'll spell it out in the chat.
Okay.
I swear, there's something about the name Brand and variants on it that just keeps popping up in these contacts.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
How many greats grandfather is he?
A lot.
Great X many.
He, kind of turns to you and goes, "As you could probably guess, I am not fully dwarven.
Yes.
My mother was an elf. Back before they left this land. It is a grim thing, outliving your own father. Not something that I would wish on anyone. with a group as long-lived as the dwarves, very few are used to having funerals relatively soon after they become adults. Their parents are with them for much of their lives. We live very long lives. But when you have an elf parent whose blood extends that life even further, well, people seem to drop like flies.
Kind of just nod at that.
And he kind of goes, to tell you the truth, I don't actually know how long I have been alive. All I can say for sure is that I've been alive since before the elves left this world. And that is quite a long time.
Yes.
My understatement and detectors are going off.
Yeah. You would know generally just from being in this world that elves existing as like their own thing, rather than like a figure in myth, like is very, very unheard of. Like, elves are not around. They are, like, they are an ancient arcane civilization. Only their language remains in proper usage, and almost all of that is due to the few elves who have still come back through from the Feywild, and the use of Sylvan in casting magic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like Latin.
Yes.
Only.
Sorry, I don't mean to break character, but both my I went to scratch my back, and both my shoulder and my elbow popped at the same time.
Oh. Sorry. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, not fun. What was I saying?
Sylvan is like Latin.
Yeah, it's a language that is still understood by some, but is like universally recognized as old and very arcane. Not in the magical sense, but in the like unapproachable sense.
Yep.
Okay.
Also arcane in the magical sense, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah, but he basically explains to you that like like over the millennia, he eventually settled down, had a family, and it was just horribly ripped away from him. And to kill the god who took that away.
Spite is a very powerful motivator.
Yes, it is. And he kind of just, like, grimly, he grimly looks at you and goes, but at the very least, there are still, what was the family name again?
Bittermane.
Bittermane.
Why did I think brittle?
I don't know. But at the very least, there are still a few Bittermanes running around. That is good to know.
Now my aunt getting cursed by the Fae makes more sense.
He kind of looks at the corner like, exactly did you get in?
Servant's entrance.
That entrance over there.
And he goes, like, his eyes widen a bit. He goes, oh, that would be useful.
Yeah. Pretty useful.
And he finally acknowledges the boggles and goes, like, he kind of mutters something under his breath in Sylvan. Like, obviously using some quick magic to adjust their orders to make note of the servant's entrance.
Okay, so they're like
They're tar golems.
tar golems?
Yeah, they're
Only less terrifying than most golems are in D&D.
Yeah, they're essentially like they're the equivalent of like a flesh golem, like a tiny construct. Think of them like a homunculus.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Where they're like a simulacrum of life, but not real. Like they're not really living boggles. They just look and act like boggles to avert suspicion.
For some reason, I have the base battle droids from the prequels stuck in my head. Like
Okay.
the way they're like kind of dumb. You know, the whole Coruscant, that does not compute. Wait, you're on. You're right.
I'd say more like they're more like automatons, where they just kind of they don't have like consciousness. They just do what they're ordered to do.
Unless, of course, you drive on that one to a raise.
Well, they're programmed to run away if one of their kind is destroyed.
Ah.
This just keeps getting
Less cool.
yes. Oh well.
Whatever.
And Cackleberry looks over at Hubert and goes, "No, it was still really cool. Like even killing damn prestidigitation."
You're cutting out. I heard even killing prestidigitation.
Even deal damage image with prestidigitation is wild.
Yes.
Yes, I was really not expecting that to work so spectacularly.
I don't think
he
anyone
kind of,
was.
Yeah, and he kind of like, I wish I had been there. That would have been really interesting. But yeah, I think that is all I have. Unless you would like to keep role-playing Calibrand, waxing poetic about living for like 10,000 years.
I think this is a good stopping point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you actually expect for us to fight this crowd?
Not at all. I said up front at the beginning of that there is something that could lead to combat, but I do not want it to go to combat.
Yeah.
What would that have been bursting through the front door?
Yeah. there reason that the contents of the room from you guys.
I mean, I've been in parties where that was not necessarily out of the question.
Yeah. But mostly I just wanted to get some character stuff involved since, like, you know, it's not the simplest thing in the world to get character backstories, like, actually worked into the plot.
Yeah, this was well done.
Yeah.
Gonna stop the recording now.